What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are doing the last ever league race on F1 2017. This is AOR Brazil, the finale of Season 2 of AOR Oceania. So, basically the equation is 11 points separating myself and Warden for second and third in the standings. It's mathematically impossible to win this championship. We've known that for quite a while now, but hopefully in this one we can get back and making a Mercedes 1-2 in the driver's standings. That's the aim. Hopefully we can win this race. It's going to be difficult because for whatever reason my pace around this circuit on this game is really weird. It's not what it usually is, and I'm not too sure why. Just can't quite get comfortable around here, but we'll see if we can bridge the gap if we can. So here we are for qualifying. Looks like it's going to be dry for qualifying. However, it will be raining for the race for at least the first half. It's going to be starting off in intermediates and then towards like 45 minutes or towards the end of the race it should be drying up, but we never quite know. It could be intermediate or rain conditions on a dry track or dry tyres, but I'm just going to chance it and just go all guns blazing for qualifying and get the best grid position we can. We set a banker time of a 1 minute 9.2, which is okay. We want to be in the 8s though if we want to be competitive and somewhere towards the front. We're sitting in P7 at the moment, which is not quite good enough. We want to be at least in the front 2 rows of the grid to have a good chance of winning this race, that's for sure. But 30 seconds up to go in the session. We're fueled up for 2 laps and we're going to see if we can improve. We're only 300ths up as we go through the final sector, and then across the line we're 300ths down. So no improvement there, so it's going to be down to us on our last lap to see if we can get pole position here. Fens goes pole with a 1 minute 8.3. We need to find 9/10ths on this lap to eclipse him. So this is going to be pretty difficult here through the first sector. We're down ever so slightly, but I think my first sector was actually pretty good. So we need to make up all the time in the middle sector. That's where I seem to be losing a lot of time. I noticed in practice as well. So we'll have to wait and see. Through here, we're braked a little bit early. In previous laps, I've been running in there too deep and just compromising my run through the middle sector. But this time, it wasn't too bad. Into the right-hand hairpin. Usually get some oversteer. This time, it wasn't too bad. Nice exit. Short shifting up early through the gears to minimize that wheel spin, get better traction. Across the line for the middle sector split, 2.5 up. So we're looking really good here to get inside the 8s. And that should put us somewhere towards the front. And that was actually a really nice exit. We got off of the final corner as well. Open the DRS, run up to the line, and we're out of fuel. Unbelievable. Ran out of fuel in the final 200 meters. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. We fueled the car up, and normally you can do 2 laps, but for some reason, we couldn't get 2 laps. So it's 10th place, the worst starting position on the grid for the Brazilian Grand Prix. I'd say we lost at least 3/10ths there, and that would have got us top 4, which is really unfortunate. But here we are for the race. Thankfully, it is raining, and that might open up some more opportunities for us to get through the field, because when it rains, no one quite knows what they're doing at the start, and it's a good way to gain some positions if you are down the order. So hopefully we can make the most of that if we are cautious on the first lap. But here we go, 5 red lights, and away we go for this Brazilian Grand Prix. New Zealand Ryan right in front of me in P8, so not a great starting position for the Mercedes. But heading into turn 1, Ryan going very conservative, as you would. Not wanting to lose your front wing. We follow him through. Bit of contact with the Mercedes there, LRT chicane. He's going really slow through the chicane. You'd think he'd be pretty good going through his home, but anyway, we get a nice exit off of turn 3. Neon Trudome and Greek Master getting tied up with each other, and I just got boxed in there. I couldn't get to the inside. The momentum of my car was just taking me to the right-hand side of the circuit, but Neon goes for a dive, takes out Chicane and Greek Master for company, and that is an easy 3 positions for us on this opening lap of the Brazilian Grand Prix. So not a bad start, 2-5. Ryan actually makes a mistake just up the road, bottles up Master Berserk and Chimchar, which actually helps me get the move done. That's P6. Chimchar is fighting back through the middle sector, and just trying to get nice exits. It's so difficult, especially at the start of the race when you don't quite know the grip levels, but we just get the move done, and that is us up in a 6th place. So here's a replay of the start. This is Ryan's on board. I feel like he got off to a decent start, but he couldn't go anywhere off the grid. So away he goes. He gets Chimchar off the line. Greekmaster, shocking start. So too with Dominator. Fancy how the wheel users, all struggling for traction off the line. But anyway, through turn 1, just going around the outside of the Force India of Neon. Greekmaster gets tied up on the back of Master Berserk, loses the back end, and has a clear run into P5. Now we carry up down the road. Master Berserk loses the back end on the exit of turn 4. Another easy position for him. That's P4. And we carry on to lap 3. Live pictures once again. So he's on the attack now with Dominator. Going to go around the outside, heading into the start-finish straight. I think Ryan will be able to outbrake him fairly easily. He'll have the inside for the next right-hander as well. So that should be another easy position for him. So job done for Ryan. Great start from him. Great start from both of us, to be honest. Both the Mercedes. We've made up a lot of ground early doors in this Brazilian Grand Prix. Notice how all the pad users are 1, 2, and 3. I'm joking. I'm joking. Anyway, Ryan did say this was pad paradise at Brazil, which I found to be quite funny, but no excuses. Getting on with the job. It's lap 6. At this point, I was just kind of circulating at the exact same pace as Master Berserk in front of me. I wouldn't say he was faster. I wouldn't say I was slower. I was probably just a little bit more inconsistent. That's Warden, who's out of the Grand Prix. He's made a mistake off that curve there. Ryan has been taken out as well. And does he have damage? I don't think he has damage. He's lost a lot of time here, and he's going to fall back down towards the back of the grid. So, wow. These guys, 1 and 2 in the championship, are nowhere in this race now. We need a replay of that. So I'll drag it up from the stream.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about Warden. I'm not that good of friends with him in terms of how he operates, in terms of what he thinks is going to be more important coming into this race. Championship. Oh, he's made a mistake. He's on the wall. No! The front left tire is gone. Warden is out of this Brazilian Grand Prix. Oh my lord, that just shows how easy it is to make a mistake.
Unbelievable. I still can't believe he made that mistake, to be honest. Warden is mega quick in these conditions. And that might be why. Maybe he pushes the envelope in these conditions, and we do see him crash quite a bit, especially on F1 2017, and it's just bitten the bullet once again. That's really unfortunate for Ryan as well, to get tangled up and to have Warden not really ghost. He was just so close to him that the ghosting never kicked in, but thankfully for Ryan, he actually doesn't have damage, but he's lost a whole lot of time and positions. So he's going to dig himself out of a massive hole to get back on the pace in this Grand Prix. So from here, Ryan, he's overtaking a lot of cars. He's getting past Greekmaster now. LRT chicane is up next. Thankfully, it is the wet, and the difference between the quick drivers and some of the midfield back marker drivers, there's quite a huge skill gap, and maybe Ryan will be able to make the most of that and get back through the field. I think he might even be able to get close to me if he can bang in some pretty quick laps. He's got a lot of time to do so, 24 laps, so we'll wait and see how he does. But in terms of our race, in terms of our championship, we have enough points. But if we finish where we are right now, we're going to get second in the driver's standings by 1 point if we finish in 4th place. But meanwhile, some of the leaders are making their stops. I was thinking about stopping on that lap, but since they stopped, I decided, I'll go one more. I'll go one more and stretch the tyres, because it might help us later on if we have more flexibility of fresher tyres. If the rain continues to fall late on in this Grand Prix, it'll mean I can stay out longer on the inters before going onto the dry tyres. Quick pit stop there, 2.7 seconds. We rejoin back in 5th place, but because we gave the undercut away, we gave a solid 3 or 4 seconds away, unfortunately, and it's allowed Rain to close in on the back of us. He's about 2 seconds back, so pretty much maintaining the gap to Rain. But in terms of actually catching the guys in front, even though I had fresher tyres, I wasn't really closing them in, which was pretty frustrating. But on lap 20, we get the call from Jeff to dive in for a set of dry tyres, but it's just too early. It's not ready for dry tyres yet. We're going to wait for the DRS enabled notification from the game to come up before we even think about diving in for a set of dry tyres. But meanwhile, Ryan's been on the charge. He's been setting fastest lap after fastest lap. I decided not to hold him up or hold myself up. We'll just let him go. It might actually help myself here in following some of his lines, and might resolve some of my pace issues, so I decided to follow him through. The benefit is if I let Ryan go through here as well, if he catches up to the cars in front, we could potentially be looking at a double podium for Mercedes. But he's really got to get a charge on. But yeah, I didn't want to hold him up. I didn't want to have him lurking behind me and almost not focusing ahead of me and just getting on with the driving. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. It means for the moment, effectively, we are not going to get second in the driver's standings, but who knows? Ryan may let us go later on the race if he really wants to. But anyway, lap 27, Ryan has pushed his intermediate tyres as far as they dare go. They were on like 79%, and he's on for another set of intermediate tyres. Just unfortunately, the conditions, the rain just took so long to dissipate. So much so that everyone has dived in except me. I stayed out one lap later than everyone else in the first stint, so I've got the same age tyres as everyone else, but it doesn't matter because the game's giving us a penalty. A puncture. A puncture in the right rear just as we got to the lead of the Grand Prix from V-Fens, who just stopped on the last lap. And that has killed our race. Absolutely killed our race. I don't know what to do now. You can see there, I'm hovering on the next tyres option. Do I go inters? Do I go... I've got a double puncture now as we come into the pit lane. And that was it. That was curtains for me changing the tyres. I was literally just about to change to dry tyres, but I wasn't quite sure. I was asking other people in the party. They were thinking, oh, it's taken it so long to change to dry conditions, but we thought it was going to be at least another few minutes away. And just as we came out of the pit lane, DRS gets enabled, so like absolutely worst timing. I reckon if we don't get the puncture there, I might have had the composure to just go straight onto the dry tyres. But I've really missed the chance there. That's 2 pit stops in 2 laps now. So much time lost with a puncture as well. We were potentially looking at winning that race. If we dive into the pits and go straight to dry tyres at the end of that lap, we win that race. Or at least have a really solid chance of doing so. But that was it. That was my race. I think I was just circulating in like P6 for the rest of the Grand Prix. This is Ryan now putting the pressure on Greek Master. He's going to go around the outside, heading into turn 1. Greek Master on the medium tyres. So he's got the harder compounded tyre on, but they work a little bit better in these semi-wet conditions. But Ryan, of course, has more grip. So as the track continues to dry up, Ryan is going to have a huge advantage in the last couple of laps, and he's trying to make the most of it now as he dives up the inside of Greek Master into turn 4. Can't quite get the move done. Greek is really defending hard here to hold on to this podium. I don't think he's got one in AOR as of yet. He's never really put a full race together without making a mistake or some kind of bad luck going his way, but now it's entirely in his hands, and he is making absolutely sure by any means necessary that he keeps Ryan behind, and Ryan gets a terrible exit out of the final corner. I was in the party with Ryan as well at the time, and Ryan doesn't get flustered or frustrated all too much, but this was a real test for him. Here we go, nice exit off the final corner. He's going to have the pace advantage over Greek Master here, and he blocks the inside. Yes, he does, so Ryan has to switch back and forth. In the end, doesn't have the momentum, and that is 3rd place for New Zealand Ryan. Greek Master home in 2nd, and I think Fens getting the race win there. For us, it was P6. And again, what could have been if not for the puncture. So there we go, guys. V-Fens is your race winner in what turns out to be a Sauber 1-2 in the Brazilian Grand Prix. What a race. From a neutral's perspective, that was absolutely mental. Sauber, 5 rounds into the season, they did not have any drivers, and now they find themselves with a 1-2. Something that Ferrari, who got 2nd in the driver's standing, in the constructors, sorry, they can never manage a 1-2, yet they have managed to pull this one from the stars. Fens is your winner. Greek Master home in 2nd. New Zealand Ryan home in 3rd. For us, it was P6 and only 3rd place in the driver's standings. Congrats to Ryan. Congrats to Warden. I think he deserves 2nd in the driver's standings anyway after the season he has had. But that's it for Season 2 of F1 2017 AOR League Racing Championship. It's off now for a little bit of a break until F1 2018. I think we'll have quite a while to get used to the game, do whatever series and stuff that I'm doing, career mode, what have you, and then League Racing starts maybe a month or so after the game comes out. So I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully you guys are too as well. Thank you so much for your support over the course of this League Racing Championship. F1 2017, we've had some success. We've had a lot of bumps in the road as well. But hopefully F1 2018 is our game, and we can get that World Drivers' Championship. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, I'll see you next time.